A very good morning to you and welcome once again to Daybreak. With me, Muriel on Talk 100.3. Yes, we are part of the Fun Asia Network. Joining me yet again for a conversation is a stalwart seated right before me. Dr. Shahine Awasthy is a senior automotive battery industry expert with over 30 years of experience in the automotive and energy storage sector across the GCC and international markets. Now, he holds a PhD in power solutions from France and is currently working with AMAP Group as business unit manager, leading strategic growth and development within the automotive battery division. Known for his deep technical and commercial expertise, Dr. Shahine has worked extensively with leading automotive battery brands, OEM manufacturers, distributors, major fleet operations throughout the Middle East. Now, his experience spans battery technology, product development, market strategy, warranty systems, charging diagnostics, and modern vehicle electrical systems. Even he has been actively involved in advertising and advising companies on premium battery technologies, including AGM, EFB, start stop systems, and advanced charging solutions designed for harsh Gulf climate conditions. Dr. Shahine is also recognized for his practical industrial knowledge and his passion for educating motorist workshops and fleet operators on battery reliability, safety, and performance optimization. A very good morning to you, Dr. Shahine. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Muriel. And may I say, it's a privilege and a pleasure to be on your show today.
Likewise, I mean, I am over the moon. I was just reading a few of these abbreviations, and believe you me, I would really like to get a download of them. They really, really seem to be quite technical. So, in a layman's language, if you can kind of, slow this down a bit and tell us what exactly do you do?
Now, that's a fairly simple question. Let's be very clear on it. Um, Muriel, we live in a wonderful city of Dubai. One thing when you see Dubai flashes to your eyes is high-end, expensive cars, Lamborghinis, Rolls Royces, etc. These cars are really expensive. They have one of the most modern electronics, everything, big engines, all. But imagine a car up to this level not having a reliable battery. It wouldn't really start. So, the core of a car, at the core of the mobility, is a reliable automotive battery. This drove my interest into batteries. And that's the reason why I took it up as a passion, and I'm here today.
Well, quite interesting. Now, Dr. Shaheen, you've spent more than 3 decades, right, in the automotive battery industry. You've already, you've stated what got you into the field, but we've seen this industry changing and evolving, and the way it has grown over the past few odd decades. Could you take us, from the grassroots level as to where you started off to where it is right now?
Wonderful. Uh, if you just rewind a little back, the battery was invented about 169 years ago. And from therein, for the next 100 years, it really didn't see much evolution. It was just a standard battery with acid, lead plates, etc. Therein, in the last 3 decades, there was a huge boom in battery development. And earlier, a battery was just a part of a car. I mean, people never really bothered about it. It was a black box in a car. Its primary function was just to start the car. But today, the whole car is designed around a battery. If you look up all the modern cars, whether it's Tesla, whether it's BYD, etc., which are the EV cars, the whole design is surrounded around the battery. So this drove my interest into the battery technology and the rapid advancements that has taken place today.
But do you still feel that in today's day and age, people still consider it a very important aspect of their day-to-day lives? Or because, these days people love their cars,
Mhm.
but do they also consider the battery to be a very, very important aspect of their day-to-day check-ins and outs?
Oh, unfortunately, this is a very critical question. As much as we pay attention to a car, the interiors, the electronics, the tires, the lubricants, we really do not pay much attention to the battery. Though the battery, being one of the smallest and easiest component to replace, is the most critical component to keep a car running. So lack of knowledge has created people to focus less on the battery. The only time they remember battery is under distress, when your car doesn't start up on a 50-degree temperature.
Absolutely. And usually, would you say that people compromise where their batteries are concerned? I mean, these
Yes,
days, do we
yes, yes.
compromise?
Uh, Generally, this is actually, I wouldn't blame them for it because they are confused. For them, all the batteries seem the same, whether the boxes are the same finally. So for them, all the batteries seem the same. They really don't know what's inside the particular battery. Hence, they get confused. They're mostly, if you ask any customer, I mean, what kind of a tire he has, he knows the brand. But if you ask him what kind of a battery he has, he doesn't know the brand. So this is a reason why most customers are a bit, I would say, ignorant about the battery brand as such. This is where the education is very, very important.
Dr. Shaheen, you come with that knowledge now, with so many years of knowledge that you already possess, right? You worked across GCC and international markets. According to you, how different are the UAE driving conditions compared to the other regions? And why would you say now is the time to kind of look into your batteries? Also, summer months, we are, getting closer to those hotter numbers flashing onto our dashboards. More important now, more so for you to be looking into your batteries.
So, a very, very interesting question, and I really, really would love to answer this. You see, the Gulf offers one of the most harshest conditions in the world. Here, the temperatures can soar up to 50 plus. Uh, Batteries are very much susceptible to heat. Heat is the biggest enemy of a battery. You see, the battery construction basically is lead and sulfuric acid. It's a chemical reaction. Heat speeds up the chemical reaction, which can cause a premature failure in the batteries. So, having more knowledge about the batteries, checking your batteries, especially on the onset of summer, is very, very critical.
Absolutely. We were talking to you about the batteries. We're also talking to you about the GCC markets. Now, people also import their cars, right? I
Hmm.
mean, people
Hmm.
import their cars, people export their
Absolutely.
cars as well. And because I feel you are a doctor in this space and you understand cars and the mechanics behind that a little bit more, tell us, why is it important for you to know what you're importing and you're exporting into the region?
Okay. You see, Dubai is a trading hub. All kinds of products flow in and flow out. Now here, you do have high-end clienteles. Dubai government is very, very strict about traffic norms. They take pride in having one of the best, I would say, transportation systems here, car care systems here, everything in particular. But however, due to the export influx, many low quality products do find the way into Dubai. Here, it is very, very important for us to educate customers on choosing the right kind of product which is suitable for the vehicles, the right kind of applications, the right kind of brands, the right kind of technology. Else, it'll be a hassle for them in the later days.
Very interesting. Now, for listeners hearing about Solite for the very first time,
Mhm.
what is it that they need to know right now about the brand?
Okay. This is a very interesting fact, and would love to talk about this since I am representing Solite. You see, Solite is a battery which has been over 3 decades in this region. Today, I am proud to say it's one of the largest selling batteries in UAE, and in being here for over 3 decades, you can imagine this talks about customer confidence and reliability in the brand. Solite is manufactured by Hyundai Sangwoo in Korea, which is a OEM manufacturer, and most of the Kia Hyundai cars, even the top end Genesis, come with Solite batteries as OEM fitment in them.
Interesting that you mentioned this. Again, so when a customer comes to you, obviously with zero knowledge,
Mhm.
is it very important, say for the sales personnel standing right besides them, to kind of have that knowledge when they're presenting them with the product?
Yes, of course, I do believe. You see, battery is a distress purchase item, unlike lubricants, tires, and other stuff. You only remember a battery when a car doesn't really start. At that particular time, you approach the closest possible person, which could be a counter sales guy, a mechanic, and a garage. Of course, he has to give you a bit of an education on batteries. That these batteries are basically how are they suitable for your car, what care you need to take, what should be the OCV, the open circuit voltage, which most customers are ignorant about. A small tip for customers, please, whenever you're buying a battery, ensure that you check the voltage of the battery.
And how does that really make a difference?
Yes, it does. I'll explain in a brief. Uh, Unlike what we think a 100% charged battery is 12 volts because it says 12 volts, 60 ampere, 12 volts, 70 ampere.
Correct.
But this is not entirely true. A 100% charged battery is 12.65 or 12.7 volts. So please ensure that before you get it fitted in your car.
So now I'm talking to you about batteries, sir. Now, if you could also help us understand this stance, right? Do they differ from, in what brands you fit them in as well? And also, these days, I believe there are different from fuel-led cars to EVs as well. So how can Solite, be fit in different brands?
Uh, this is very, very important, and I'm really glad that you brought it up. Battery manufacturers are spread all over the world, but very few of these manufacturers are really OEM manufacturers. OEM means they design batteries specifically for specific cars under OEM demands. Besides that, they spend a lot of money into R&D. So you could be rest assured that they have high precision components and they are tailor-made for the particular region, like Gulf. Other batteries just copy paste technology and they would not have the in-depth quality in them.
Interesting. Now, I'd also like to know, is there a way that I could find if a battery is original? Everybody these days say it is an original make, but how can I tell? Because I lack that expertise and you do. So you tell me, how can you help me understand that, yes, this is the make that I need to go after?
There are two kinds of batteries basically when you say original. One is an OEM fitment which comes in your car from the manufacturer, and one is the similar product being released by the same manufacturer for the aftermarket. Generally, that's much more cheaper. It is always better for you to verify the specifications of your battery from your car manual or to check the battery which is existing in your car when you're getting it changed. That will give you more knowledge on it.
Perfect. Now, every summer we hear about cars breaking down because obviously of battery issues. Why does this happen so often? If you could please help us out with this.
Okay. Car breaking down is more common, especially in the summer in these parts of the world, which is there. And one of the reasons is the high heat. But moreover, I would not give all the blame just to the battery life or the battery quality as such. Partial blame goes to the car itself. You see, our driving habits do affect. We have frequent start stops because of the traffic signals, short driving, traffic jams, etc. And this leads to the deterioration of the battery.
Wow, this conversation is turning out to be a lifesaver to the ones that are driving out on the roads of the UAE. We are joined by none other than Dr. Shahine Awasthy from AMAP Group. But right now, we are also joined by Priya, who is one of our regular callers, calling in on 800 for all your battery led problems with your cars. Give us a call. We have an answer to it. But right now, Priya, a very, very good morning to you and welcome to the show.
Hi, very good morning to you.
Hi, Priya. We have Dr. Shaheen in the studio, so please quickly go ahead and ask your question. Hi, Priya. Dr. Shaheen is listening to you. You can go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, I just want to ask you regarding the car batteries or electronic batteries.
Yes, please go ahead, ma'am.
Uh,
All right, Priya, we can't really hear you quite clearly. We're not really sure of what you're asking us. Could you please repeat yourself once again?
so how long you have to check the batteries and everything.
EV batteries and car care. How long do you check the batteries, and how do you care for the batteries rather?
Okay. Uh, a very interesting question, Priya. Thank you for asking this. EVs are a bit different from your conventional battery technology. You see, EVs are the ones which are totally powering the car here, the motors, unlike a internal combustion engine, what you have in your normal cars. The best I would suggest is first of all, your vehicle has onboard diagnostic system you should take a little, take a small tuition from your guys, especially your service advisor at your dealership. Ask him to tutor you on to how to check your battery percentage on the dashboard itself. Still, if you have any difficulty, it's best to take it down to a diagnostic center, get it diagnosed once, and make sure that you do not overcharge it with super fast chargers. This will extend the battery life. If you use superchargers, yes, you can lower down your battery life.
Hoping that you got your answer, Priya. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's move on to another caller, Shavaz. I think you're next on the line. A very good morning to you, Shavaz.
Hi, very good morning.
Shavaz, what's your question? We have Dr. Shine in the studios. Go ahead with your question.
I know he's an expert with the EV, so I just wanted to ask him with the increasing fuel prices, how well economically it is better for a normal person to switch to EV cars for a one who's averagely, because I know that EV cars are expensive. So in that case, how would it be economically best?
Okay. Uh, your name is Shavaz, correct? Yeah, Mr. Shavas, to answer your question, and this is a very relevant question, especially now with the fuel crisis going around and the prices going up. Yes, shifting to a EV is a wonderful option today. I do agree that the prices are a bit steep as compared to internal combustion engine cars, which are normal cars. But however, still there is a lot of development to be done to make it more, common man's reach. The fact is, charging stations are still critical. Guys have to still go quite a fair bit to get their vehicles charged. Some lucky guys have it in the building. So, besides that, yes, it is much more economical as compared to a normal petrol car for you to go to your regular work or your commuting. Just bear in mind, many EVs come with different ranges. You will find 75D, 90D, 100D, etc. These signify the battery capacity up to how much of distance you can drive the car on a single charge. So it's better to pay attention to that also at times.
What is the life of this battery? Like once this
Mm.
battery dies, what is the percentage of the reinvestment that we have to do on the battery?
Again, very relevant, very economic, economic oriented question. Yes, uh, EV batteries generally have. That's the warranty is about 8 years. But it's not that just 8 years are done and the battery is going to be no. The battery could reach to its 85, 75% capacity by that time, which means it may not be able to give you the same functionality as it did when it was new. So generally, most of the vehicle manufacturers give about an 8-year warranty. I'm talking about EV in particular on the batteries. However, this doesn't mean that the battery is going to die away. It could still last longer. But bear in mind, yes, your driving conditions particularly I would say they would depict how long the battery should last. However, the cost of changing a battery could be relatively quite high. In some high-end vehicles it's almost close to $20,000. So I would say yes, it could be a major investment.
Hoping that you got your answer, Shavaz. You're more than welcome. Quickly, we're going to move on to our next caller. Preeti, you're up next. A very good morning to you, Preeti. What's your question?
Hi, good morning. How are you here?
Very well, Preeti. We have Dr. Shine in the studios. Please go ahead with your question.
I just have a question about current, the weather conditions. So, is there any additional precautions that the EV owners have to take care of? Anything apart from the routine maintenance?
Okay, very excellent question, ma'am. See, heat is an enemy of batteries. As the heat soar up and more they go up, this deteriorates battery life. As an EV owner, even a normal conventional car owner, I would always recommend to try the best to keep your car in a shade. Don't keep it in sun. I know it's not possible every time, but if possible, do try to keep it in a shady area. This would keep the car much cooler, extend the battery life. Besides that, also make sure to switch off all electronics like air conditioning when you're not using them, especially when the car is idling, because this puts a very heavy load on the batteries as well. As a EV owner, I would again say yes, try to keep it in the shade, drive at fairly moderate speeds. I mean, don't accelerate, decelerate, brake quickly. These all deteriorate the battery life in your vehicle. Charge your vehicle on the appropriate times. Do not wait for the charge to entirely go down. When you do that, you will deteriorate the battery life. There is something known as a charge discharge cycle, so it's very important to maintain that.
Hoping that you got your answer, Preeti. Sure, sure, go ahead.
Say normally for the cars who are run by fuel, we say okay, don't fill the fuel till the T, so that and keep the car in the heat. So does the same thing applies for EV or battery cars as well?
No, no. I know where this comes from, but yes, in EV, it's always better to have your battery done till the T. Yes, but I would say don't rush to charge when your battery charge has come down by 15-20%. Like you just drove about 10-20 kilometers, you come back, you plug it in back into the charger. Doing this, what happens? It increases the cycles on the battery. This reduces the life. Wait for it to come at least to 50%, or maybe it's an emergency, you want to go for a long drive, so you want to charge it to the T. Yes, but batteries do not have a problem when you charge them to the T. No.
You're more than
Our pleasure.
welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Preeti. Well, we're going to continue this conversation even in the next hour. My lines are busy right now. 800-81003 is the number to get in touch. We are currently in conversation with Dr. Shahine Awasthy from AMAP Group, talking to us about all things battery related with where your cars are concerned. Whatever your questions are, now is the time. Pick up that phone lying right next to you. 800-81003 is the number. Doctor with us in the studio. So quickly ask whatever you want to ask. Dr. Shine is here.
Hi, good morning, Dr.
Hi, good
Ayub.
morning, Murad.
Actually, I just want to check like the battery like with the summer. Is this like do any there is any risk, any especially like the temperature goes like high. This is like safe in such condition?
Okay, Murad, very good question, and I'm sure a lot of listeners would really benefit from it. Summer is a critical time for batteries. You see, on the onset of summer, it's always better for you to check your batteries. As you check your fuel, you know how much of fuel is there in your tank. It's important once to get your battery checked to see if it's got proper charge and how much is its capacity or health, etc. This mechanic can guide you. Why? Because as I mentioned earlier, heat is an enemy of batteries. When the heat goes up, I mean, you can imagine 45 degrees, 48 degrees, even if you leave an unattended water bottle in your car with the car closed, you will find it bloated up. This is the kind of effect that heat has. Imagine what effect it would have on a battery which is filled with acid. It would rapidly deteriorate the
Exactly. So
plates. Yeah. Yes, please.
my question is like like the petrol. Usually the petrol they told you do not like fill it like full. Is something similar with the battery, not like it's to be like full charge, maybe like 80%, 90%?
Um, Murad, see, unlike filling petrol in a car, batteries are different. Batteries, you require a full charge. If you don't have a full
Okay.
charge, you're going to have issues cranking up your engine. And that's why many a times you must have faced issues when your battery is weak, the lights are dimming, and then you have to keep on cranking your car, like that. These are the things which you want to avoid. Always make sure that your battery is fully charged, which is 12.65 to 12.71. That should be the voltage of your battery.
Okay, okay. And any other like maybe advice like for the battery other than like checking it or like is it like for example I just like in the mobile they said okay do not like put it like overcharged, let's
Mm,
say,
mm, mm,
so
mm.
whenever it's full it will is it similar with
Yes,
the car battery?
Murad, very, very interesting part. Really, I would love to answer this question. You see, a battery is not the only culprit in your car. Uh, First and foremost, do not compromise quality for price. Choose a good product. Second thing is make sure that you get your car electrical system checked once in a while, because a wrong system can overcharge your battery or undercharge your battery. So it's very, very important that you take it to a qualified mechanic and get your system charged. This would give you a longer battery life and less distress, in the hot summers.
Okay, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Now, I think before we take on any more callers, Dr. Shahine, I think I would have to go ahead and ask you a few more questions before I'd like to say thank you for taking time out and coming onto the show. First things first, yes, we're getting into the sweltering summer months. What is it that I need to look after? Or rather, how do I look after my battery? Is there a way that I can do a health check where my battery is concerned?
Yes, Muriel, this is very, very important. You see, with the high heats here, the last thing you want to have is standing on the roadside with the car shut down, no air conditioning, nothing. And this is what most of our listeners must have faced at least once or twice in their lifetime. Always, and not only summer, I would say most of the time in other weathers also, get your car checked once in a while. Get the battery checked once in a while. I mean, it doesn't really cost too much. Take it to a mechanic. It's just a 5-minute job. He will check your battery and he will check your charging system and he will tell you, yes, this battery is good to run. The charging system is fairly good. And make sure that you invest in a quality product. Don't compromise, as I say again, don't compromise quality for price, because eventually it's going to cost you much, much more than that.
Dr. Shahine, what is an ideal lifespan of a battery? If you can help
Okay.
us understand that.
Again, lifespan basically varies as per the weather conditions. Batteries, Gulf is a harsh climate with a hot, really, really hot summers. As I would say, yeah, you have two seasons, one hot and one very hot. So I would say the batteries which perform well in other countries may not offer uh, the same performance here. And the reason being is the heat. So ideal lifespan would be approximately a 1.5 year. But if you take proper care of your battery, you have a proper charging system, you have the right battery application, means the right battery for the right car, good quality product. Believe me, these batteries could last you over 2 years in your car.
Wow. And one common mistakes that most of we motorists make during the summer months that you as an expert, Dr. Shine, would like to advise us on right now.
Okay. The biggest mistake what we as motorists do is, now for instance, you're going to a mall or you're going to a shop, you leave your car running with the air conditioning in it. Now, what really happens is when your car is not running, your alternator, sorry, I'm being a bit technical, but just in layman's term, the alternator is like a generator. It has to reach certain RPM. That means your car needs to reach certain speed for the battery to be charged. When your car is standing, you may think my engine is running, my battery is getting charged, but no, this is not the case. What really is happening is all the power is being diverted to your electronics, your infotainment system, your air conditioning, etc. So the battery is not getting enough charge. Due to this, the battery cannot cycle itself rapidly, which is your charge and discharge cycles. And over a period of time, the battery will die out.
So now this answers the question, can using too many accessories like a charger, screen, lights shorten battery life?
Exactly. As many of equipments do you have, it is advisable to have the right kind of a battery. Of course, go as per OEM specifications. Use the right kind of a battery. A normal conventional battery would not be able to take up so much a load.
Wow. A couple of terminologies that I see flashing onto my screen. We often hear of terms like SLI, also AGM, EFB. If you could just break this down in simple terminologies for our listeners and for myself as well.
My pleasure. You see, what batteries you conventionally use in your vehicles today are known as SLI batteries: starter, lightning, ignition. Their basic purpose is to start your car. That's what you find in all the common cars which are there. A little upgraded version with the new kinds of technologies now, there are start stop technologies in the car. That means when you stop on the signal, the engine shuts off. The moment you release the brake, they start. This conserves more fuel, reduces pollution. Here we use EFB batteries, which are also known as enhanced flooded batteries. A further upgrade, which is today fairly common in UAE in many high-end vehicles, is AGM, which stands for absorbent glass mat batteries. These are VRLA technology batteries. They are really high-end, which means they charge faster and they discharge slower. so they can take up the extra load, as you rightly said, of all the electronics, infotainment system, everything in them.
Wow, now this was something that will do us really good when we are, sorting after our batteries. And in your words, in your world of expertise, what makes Solite so different from the other brands already available in the market? And I'm sure you are an expert in them.
See, a brand speaks for itself, and I do believe Solite has already proven itself, lasting over 3 decades as a brand leader in UAE with this extreme heat conditions. It has proven itself. However, going more technically, uh, Solite is again, as I mentioned earlier, made by Hyundai Songwoo, which is an OEM battery manufacturer and coming as an original fitment in Hyundai, in Kia, in other high-end vehicles. These batteries are precision engineered with high components, high material like lead oxide, lead acid, everything which are high end, and specifically designed for these harsh Gulf climates.
Before you leave, Dr. Shaheen, I just want to get your note where this is concerned. The future of automotive energy solutions,
Oh,
where are we headed off to?
oh, this is really my passion. You touched the point there. You see, the battery innovation is every day changing. Something which was stagnant for over 100 years, you see an evolution almost every day. As you said, you have EFB, you got AGM, now you're having sodium ion batteries, you're having iron batteries in the making. And in the future, people are still working upon graphene batteries. These are going to be the future for batteries. I see the innovation of batteries is so critical that we will soon be more dependent on batteries than we have been on fossil fuels in the past.
Interesting comment coming in there from Dr. Shahine Awasthy. Thank you once again, Dr. Shahine. It has been a pleasure to host you in our studios. Looking forward to more conversations with you.
Thank you, Muriel. The pleasure is all mine.